try. Hitman!
Good day, it's Playing with Fire. So a while ago, one of my friends asked me how long it takes to set up one of these Dillon 550 semi-progressives, I'll call it. Well, it really depends on the system you're using it for. Once you've made up your mind to spend the money and get one of these, it then becomes a matter of how you want to set it up. You can get yourself, let me just run over here, and get yourself spare tool heads that you put all your things into, all your dies into. And then for that, it's just a matter of pulling a pin on either side and sliding it in and out. And then it becomes a little bit more problematic. For example, you can get yourself a complete powder filler and bolt it onto each powder head. And then you've got your complete setup, and all it is a matter of pulling the powder filler rod each time that you go to swap between your tool heads. And then you gotta change out your conversion kit for the base. And that takes me about 5 minutes, if that. But it's swapping out the tool head that, for me, takes a little bit longer, because I've only got one complete powder filler horn, and so I've got to undo 2 bolts, put it onto the other one, and also take off the powder measure bar, take out the powder measure bar. That doesn't take too much, but it's a single bolt on this side, and a little bit of finagling to get the little the plastic block into there and get it all locked down to a torque that it doesn't mind. So what I've done is I've measured my, I've found my load that I want, the amount of powder that I want in each caliber, and I've gotten myself individual sets of powder bars. And so I swap out my powder bars, and I've got one here for the 9 mil, and one for the 40, and one for the 223. Always take your time, make sure your adjustments are correct. This is the first time I've run 9, and I thought I had it adjusted correctly, but I emphasized my bell on my 9 mil, so I went back, adjusted it, and now it's just a nice gentle swell on it that allows me to insert my bullet. This casing wasn't sized, so it'll drop down. When I go to do it, I'll run it through sizing all the way, full body sizing, which obviously hasn't been done on that one. So to answer your question, Mr. LaFleur, initially it takes me about 15-20 minutes per die, so under an hour to set this thing up permanently, because I've gone out of my way to order myself spare die tool heads, and that makes all the difference for these, because then you can simply pull it out, put on the new one. While it is a pain, I find it a lot more economically viable for me to be just simply using the single powder horn. Later, if I can find parts, I'll go and fill out the rest of this tool head powder horn, and I'll leave them bolted on to my die sets. But then I'm going to have to get myself a proper rack for my dies, because then they start to become a little too bulky.